Well, look who's here. Thank you for joining me, darling. Today, I'm gonna cook up something that you've probably had back in your younger years, one of those date squares. They're so good. Yeah, I'm gonna get started. Thing is, the reason I'm making date squares is I bought these dates. Oh yeah, they're on sale. Great bargain, huh? Buy two of them, right? Okay. You get them home and they are so hard. It's like gnawing on hard candy, okay? So, like tough dates, like hard dates. No, I'm talking about these kind of dates, okay? Oh, get your mind out of the gutter. Some people don't even like date squares, but you should, because the oatmeal, like the oatmeal and the dates, they're really good for you. Yeah, okay, so what I'm gonna do is chop up the dates. These hard little things. Too much noise? Sorry. Okay, so I got my pot here. I'm going to, oh, here's another thing, you guys, girls, whatever, all of you out there. Here's another thing. Don't buy pots that have metal handles. Not a smart move. Or metal lids. Another not smart move. Those things get really hot. And if you don't use an oven mitt, which, you know, I'm not used to because my other pots didn't have metal handles, so bought them, regret it, giving you a fair warning, don't do it. Okay, so yeah, these things, oh, look how hard they are. It's like, no, I probably have trouble chopping them up too, right? When you start talking about dates, I've had my fair amount of dates. Yeah, and not only are they good for you, they use up stuff that you have in the cupboards that you're not really using, right? Or actually, I keep this in the fridge down here because otherwise the ants get into them. And the ants down here are, well, anti. Sometimes you get vendors down here, vendors on the streets, and they'll have wheelbarrow loads and stuff like that with nice dates like this in them. Oh, they're so tender, they're so big and oh, really good. So if you ever see them on the street, get them. The hell's that? So I cut the dates up and I cover them in about, a cup of water, I guess. And then I put them over low heat. Don't put it on high heat, you'll regret it. Dates do stick to the bottom if you leave them there long enough. Oh, I know. I found that out the hard way. But, some things are good hard, I don't know. But these dates are really tough. So I'm gonna chop them all up into smaller chunks, stew them down until they're nice and thick, soft date, right? It's smooth and pliable and, oh yeah, works just, oh, they taste so good too. When they're all done, you just cut them into little bars and you freeze them in packages of usually 4, right? And then, oof, anytime you want a nice sweet treat while you're watching TV, they thaw out fast. Okay, so here we go. I have them cut. I'm gonna add about a cup of water, but I have to keep in mind that it's got to boil off. So yeah, a cup here, maybe half a cup. It just depends on how, whatever I feel like. So let's just see just kind of cover them a little bit. And I was asked, how many dates did I use? Well, I would say this many. What would you think that is? Maybe 2 cups? maybe 2.5 cups of cut up dates. See what I mean? Okay, don't matter. It doesn't matter. If you don't have enough filling, you spread it thin. And if you got too much filling, you make it nice and thick, okay? So it's really okay. All right, so here's the water and a cup. I'll do it. On my tippy toes. Here she is, my sister's home. Okay, so about a cup of water, here we go. About that much. And turn on the heat. Okay? And just start stirring her up. I wouldn't leave it on high. Put it on medium or low to begin with, right? It's gonna take a while because they're hard. I'll just let that stew, not too long, because when it sticks to the bottom, it's a completely different flavor for the date squares. So you kind of don't want it to stick to the bottom. It's actually not at all. So keep an eye on it. I'll be back when this is gooey, all right? Adios. Okay, I'm back. I got the dates done, although I have to admit what I did is I took my phone off of there where it is right now while the dates were cooking. And you know what happens when you get that thing in your hand? Nothing else matters, right? So they started to stick a little bit on the thing. I should have known better. I even told you not to do it, but I did it. But anyhow, it's okay. They still taste good. Here they are. But there's no black spots, no black brown. It didn't stick. Look at even the bottom of the pot. I dodged a bullet there. And so let's get this over here. And I put this down because it makes it where it doesn't slip around all over the place. Oh, don't you just hate cutting boards that when you're cutting on it, they slide around? Oh yeah, oh yeah, that gets to me too. So I'm gonna make the rest of this part, get it all together for you. And I have to put a lemon or lime juice in here, adds a little bit of flavor. So I'm gonna cut her in half here, off of our lime tree. And just do a little squirtsy. There, I don't think I need the whole thing, so put that over there. Stir that in nicely. Stir it in quite nicely. Hear that? All right, enough of that. So next, I have to look at my recipe. I wrote it down. It's like I've Googled it, right? It's like the first thing comes up always. It just seems like allrecipes.com. And so I wrote it down. So let's just see what we have to do. Okay, you put the oats, the flour, the brown sugar, baking soda, and the salt in there. Okay, so what was oats? How many oats? 1.5 cups of oats. 1.5 cups. Well, I don't have, here, I'll use this. This is my 1/2 cup, so I'll just do it 3 times. Right? 1.5, 1. Just checking on the chickens. Oats, right? Okay, so that's good. And it calls for sifted pastry flour. Well, we're lucky if we even get flour down here that doesn't have weevils in it. So we're just lucky. You know, I always have to check it too because it just happens, right? But that's what you use the sifter for. It gets rid of all that stuff. Oh, let's see. Oh, this will work. Okay, so 1.5 cups of this. Yeah, there you go. Oh, that's a little bit more than 1. Oh, that's a little bit more too, so a little bit less of this. I think that's pretty it. Put it off there. Sift this through. She's there. Sift it through. Try not to make too much of a mess, which I do. There she is. Okay, so I've got this done. It's sifted, it's in. What else? Brown sugar, 1 1/3. Oh, they don't have brown sugar down here that's like the kind of brown sugar. They have more like it's like a Durham type of brown sugar. But it doesn't matter, it's all sweet. As long as it's sweet. It says divided. What am I supposed to divide it for? I don't know. 1. Why would it be divided? Are you supposed to use it all? Oh, I was supposed to put it in the dates. Well, here, I'll put it in now. It's in now. And I'll probably put some more water in here. Guess I should have read the recipe first, right? That happens. Learn from my mistakes, okay? So, I think I should put that back on the stove. I won't tell if you won't tell. Okay, so stir. I've got to stir this up. And here we go. You can tell you're in my kitchen here. This is no studio, just to let you know. This is our home. So anyhow, mix that all up like that. Oh, it looks so good. Now is the point where you add the salt. Let's see, 1/4 teaspoon. I think that's about 1/4 teaspoon, maybe a little bit more. Kind of brush it off my hand, maybe a little bit more. Okay, so that's about 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And the thing is if you have enough sugar in it, you won't taste the salt if it's too salty. But I don't think it's too salty. Oops. Okay, so now here we go. What are we doing now? Oh, BS, what is that? Brown sugar? No, baking soda. 3/4 teaspoon of baking soda. Where would that be? I'm just going to put some cinnamon in because I kind of like cinnamon in it too. It doesn't call for it, but I'm just going to put it in. And I have to go find that baking soda. So the best thing for me to do is try to put this on pause. Or, yeah, that's how I'll put it on pause. Hang on, guys. That was easier than I thought. You could have waited. So anyhow, baking soda, baking soda. And so how much of this do you put in? 3/4 teaspoon. Well, it looks like something I should measure. Teaspoon. 3/4. There we go. That's about enough of that. What's that baking soda here? Oops. Yeah, baking soda. Good enough? Baking soda is what makes it a little bit crunchy. And a lot of times you can use baking soda if you're making stuff you want crunchy. Crunchies. Okay, so now I have to put 3/4 cup of softened butter. I've had this butter sitting out all morning, right? You want to see if it's soft? Look. It's soft. Now I'll just put it in here. 3/4 cup. I would say that is about 3/4 cup. Wouldn't you? Well, it's soft enough, whatever. Just fire that over there. And I'll just kind of scrape that off like that and mix it all together. A lot of times when I'm making this, I don't have to use a spoon, but this is like really soft butter. It's almost melted butter. That's probably not right, but it's okay. Just let it go. It'll work. So I mix this all together. It's supposed to actually be crumbly. So I think maybe the butter should have been a little bit harder. Not as hard as those dates, so. Yeah, while I was waiting for that to cook, I decided I was going to start to edit this thing. Yeah, that's pretty funny. So, it might be a little skippy. And if it is, that's why. Oh, shit. Okay, so I think I should get something else here. A lot of times I have everything like right here ready to go, but not this time. Not completely. Okay, so here we are. What do you think? It's supposed to be crumbly. A lot of times, like I said earlier, I usually use my hands to mix it up. Like a dough, like a bread dough. Well, anyhow, this is good enough. It doesn't matter. You know what? If it's got enough sugar in it, it's gonna taste good. Yeah. Sugar and dates and all that other stuff. I'm just mixing this up. If I had one of those KitchenAids, I have a KitchenAid at my Canadian house, and oh, I just love it. I just love it. We don't have one down here, and I was gonna have it shipped down, but the shipping is like really expensive. It'd be cheaper to go to the, what is it called down here? The Copel, and just buy one. Yep. Anyhow, oh, thank you Wayne and Sue. When they left back for Canada, they gave us a bunch of stuff. And this was one of them. So we're cooking with Wayne and Sue today. All right, so you take this and you use about half of it. I don't know if you're supposed to grease the pan. It doesn't really say you're supposed to grease the pan. There's enough grease in the butter. If it sticks, it's okay. We could just use a spatula to pull it out. Now you take half of that in there. Oh, maybe a little bit more than half. Okay, and you pat it in nicely. Nice and flat and firm. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. Sort of like that. It doesn't matter because you know what? It will taste really good as long as I don't burn it. Okay, so now, see, got it in, it's all patted in. Looks good, looks thick enough, eh? Okay. Don't want to have too much on the top. Maybe a little bit more. Okay. All right, so now I take this stuff and see the consistency of it? It's kind of good. All right, so I'm gonna put that on top. And lots of it, oh yeah. There. So, done. You hear the thunder outside. Every afternoon we get thunder showers. Almost, what the hell? Oh, that's okay. So you smooth it out nicely, right? Oh, I told you about me getting these things a little bit too hot. Well, they got really dry, you know. So what I did is I just added some more water, and it did good. It did good. Okay, so now, oops. Oh, I should never do that. Now I'm gonna wash my hands. All right, there, that looks good, eh? Now I take this, I'm just gonna try to crumble this onto it though, just like that. If I put it all on in a big lump and try to spread it, yeah, okay, that's gonna work. Not. Okay, so I'll just crumble this over on top, boop, boop, boop. Oh yeah, this is perfect, oops. And a little bit for Chicha. Over top, crumble, crumble. Oh yeah. Pat it down nicely. And now, I bake it in the oven for, 20, 25, 30 minutes, until it's done, till it doesn't burn. And the thing is, if you smell it, chances are it's close to being done. So if you're sitting in the living room and you, oh, I smell that, run to the kitchen because it's a very fine line between done and burnt. Oh, I know. Okay, so here we go. It's going into the oven, and that's it. That's all. I'll show it to you. I will show it to you when it comes out again, okay? All right, so, but anyhow, I'll do this now. I really enjoy you watching the show, you people. It's so cool. And your comments, oops, let me get to that. And your comments are fantastic. I love it. But Dawn and I are doing just some little different things right now. So we're hoping you're enjoying it. And yeah, check us out on Patreon. We have a few videos and we have a few picture sets and lots our income because that's it. That's all. Okay. Thanks for watching. See you in a bit. I'll pull it out of the oven and show you. Okay. Bye. Okay, so the bell has gone off and it is ready to roll. Let's take a look at it. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, yummy. Come on, let's have some.